So I am Jeff Bartlett. I pastor at Northlight Community Church here in North Pole for the past 5 years. Life has been ministry. I'm working in Sunday school as a young man, even pre-teen, was working in Sunday school. Went off to Bible school. I met my wonderful wife, and we've been in Alaska pretty much ever since. We are definitely doing our calling and our mission, and we love what we do. That is the core of who I am. I have a secular job as well, but ministry is my life. It's my calling, so that would be who I am. In the flesh, I probably would never want to be pastor, but in reality, what he has called you to do. And so while we were in Fairbanks at a prayer conference, God very specifically called us to the city of North Pole. We were very happy and content serving in Sterling, Alaska under Pastor Mitch Glover, and had assisted for several years and did music. Enjoyed it tremendously. When God called, it was a definite calling in my life. I went back and spent several meetings of crying in pastor's office, like, I don't know if I want to do this, but God's calling me. What do we do? We're not going to go unless you send us, because that is apostolic. So we prayed about it together. Eventually, he handed us a flyer to launch, which is a church planting training seminar that we went to. And we walked in the room, we felt like this is our people. This is the people that understand the calling of going in and starting and planting a church. And so that was the beginning of us pastoring. We've always been in ministry, but this is the first place that we have pastored. As far as my mom and dad, they have always been encouraging when it comes to working for the church. Father was not a minister, but he was highly involved in the church. My mom played the piano and was church treasurer for years. Father ran the sound and did bus ministry. It seemed like we were always at the church. But they were very, very encouraging as far as getting into ministry, and always encouraged us to be involved. Now, when I met my wife, Holly, we were at Christian Life College. We were both going to Bible college. We were both seeking out the will of God for our lives. God brought us together, and so we have been in ministry together our entire married life. And so always has been a strength and an encouragement to me. So I've always been involved with music my whole life. I mean, my grandmother taught piano. My mom played piano in church her whole life. While she was playing piano, she'd put us on the front row, and we would play whatever instrument we could find, whether we knew how to play it or not. We had bongos and guitars and whatever else we could find. We love to do that here too with our children in church. But there is something about music in my life that is this direct connection with God. I believe God gave me the talent, the abilities that I have, and I freely give them back to Him. But even in my prayer time, I will find myself going to the piano and playing. And I truly find the most joy when I'm just simply playing the piano or the guitar or the bass or whatever, maybe even beating around on the drums for a little bit. It is part of my worship. It's who I am. If I'm in a service and I'm not playing an instrument, I don't even know what to do with myself half the time. I worship God to the best of my ability. I don't move like I do when I'm playing, and I don't like my hands don't do what they're supposed to do. I'm thinking about playing, because that's where I release that worship to God. So that is one of my greatest joys in life and in church, in my relationship with God, is spending time playing music and singing before Him. Our first ministry, I would say, would be in the Dartmouth United Pentecostal Church in Nova Scotia, Canada, under Sister Nyla Min. Everybody was to be a part of something. Our pastor was a firm believer in involving everybody. And so by the time I was old enough to help in a Sunday school room, I was helping in a Sunday school room. If I was old enough to help setting up chairs for the next youth banquet, whatever it was, we always seemed to be involved. We used to do Saturday bus ministry door knocking. We would go out and knock doors for a big day on Sunday of picking up children and bring them to the house of the Lord. So that would be my first experience in actually ministering. And ministry to me is serving. And so at first opportunity, it was to serve my local church. This was definitely a God moment. We absolutely loved being on the peninsula. We were there for 15 years and loved our home, loved our church family there. And so it literally took a God moment in my life. We had come up for prayer conference, and I was supposed to be doing the music, and I showed up for practice, and they told me to go sit down. I was so sick that I could barely function. I couldn't see, couldn't think. My mind was not on chord charts or music or words. I was not feeling well. Actually, I had flown up for that, and the plane stopped on the tarmac, and the flight attendant came and asked me if I was going to be okay to fly. And I said, I have to get to prayer conference. Just take off. I'll be okay. I'll survive. Then I got up here, the preaching of the word. I couldn't go down to the altar and respond in any way. I was sitting in my chair, and I just simply raised my hands and said, God, okay, I'm ready. Whatever you have for me, that's what I want to do. And very, very clearly he said, you'll be going to North Pole. That was why we came, and now we absolutely love our city. I'm not in that stage of life where I'm planning retirement, but it's always off in the distance, and you're always thinking, like, where do I want to be during retirement? Do I want to live in Arizona where it's nice and warm and sunny, or in Orlando? But we love our city. We love North Pole. God has called us. He's put North Pole in our heart, and that's where we're going to be until he takes North Pole out of our heart. North Light Community Church. In 2019, we showed up on site. I don't advise anybody to move to North Pole the first week of January. It is not enjoyable. We set up in our home, and we would have community events. Every single month, we would do something at Hotel North Pole. Just meeting people, connecting with people. So we did that for one full year. So every month we had an event. That to preview services, where we were just having a service at Hotel North Pole. And our preview service was just kind of let people know what was going on with North Light. And then we actually had our official launch date on December 14th of 2019. And then we went to weekly services in our home for the next 5 years. We have been looking for years for a location, and really felt like God was going to open a door. Nothing was coming up online. Nothing was coming up in communication with people around town to see if anything was available. There's not a lot of commercial space in North Pole. And so we were looking at property that was not panning out. Looked at several other churches to maybe share with or have a service on a different night, and that wasn't working either. One night at work, I was praying and started looking online one more time. And Parkway Point came up. I'd never seen that website before in my life, never had come up before. It was for this location. Emailed, called the next day. I got home from work, met with the owner. Felt like everything was going to work out. This was going to be the right place for us. But God had a plan, and I had to be patient and wait for that to come to be fulfilled. We have leased a place in North Pole, right in the heart of North Pole. We're excited about that at 220 Parkway, and slowly finishing up what little renovations we needed to do to make it ready for the church. And we are excited about having regular services at a facility where everybody can come, and it's local, it's right in town. And we're excited about what God's doing, and we're growing. We've had interns stay with us for a while. That's another aspect of church growth. Get people to help you, get people on board with your mission. And we're excited about the families that are coming, and God is continuing to pour out His Spirit in North Pole. We're excited about it. We really, truly want to be the light. And so we want people to come and learn and grow in God and find out for themselves how great and how amazing God is, and how amazing this life is living for God. It's not about just coming and connecting with God. I've never, ever felt that way in my relationship with Him. It's always been about what's next, what's coming next, how can I grow, how much more can I learn, and start doing as much as I possibly can for the community. So in the community, we do community events. We don't charge for our cookie decorating parties that we do during Winterfest. We don't. That's not what it's about. It's really about connecting with our community and trying to be a blessing with the community. And so whether it's helping with the food pantries or whether it's doing our community events where we're connecting with those. We want to be the light. We want to be Jesus to those people in our community. Those that are in need, we attempt to help in whatever way we can. If someone calls and it's something that we can help them with or point them in the right direction, more than happy to do that. We love our community. We want everyone in our community to be successful. But in order to be successful, you need to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so that is our main priority, is leading people to Christ. My life is just one of many that is in complete submission to God's will. I have many friends who have chosen this path, many people that have completely surrendered their lives to God's will. I can tell you what they've told me and what I have experienced as well. There is no life like this life. I never feel like I'm having to give up things. I am at the point in my relationship with God that I am excited about every opportunity I have to come to church, every opportunity I have to sit down with a Bible study, every time I get the opportunity to play the piano or worship God. I get to do this. This is the best life that I could ever possibly want to live. And so I just want to keep doing what I'm doing for the kingdom for as long as God wants me to do it. And I'm willing to do that. In that process, I hope that my life will affect as many other people as possible, the gospel of Jesus Christ, so that they would know him like I know him and appreciate him like I appreciate him and live this great life that we live. And I think that I might just have to need to go on a date with my wife.
Sounds like a great plan.